Good morning. Today is the 4th of July, and I garden in Zone 6B. And we have had a rough past couple weeks with weather. So I haven't actually filmed, and now I'm trying to kind of catch up. We had this torrential rain. We lost power for a few days. Before that, we had the smoke that we were getting in New Jersey that had come down from Canada. So some of the plants took a toll between the weather and between me not being able to spray for things to keep the deer away. So I'm just going to kind of walk around and document where we're at. So things do look good, things look healthy, but you can see we've had plenty of deer damage here on the hosta. It's fine, it'll be fine, just looks a little icky, but I'll just look at it from afar where you can't really tell as much. Why they didn't go after the other ones, I don't know. This one looks fine. I did cut the flower off because it got all tattered up in the weather we were having. And the other hosta seems to be faring better than this first one, but that's okay. It'll be fine. There's not much to look at right now, but it'll bulk back up. The other hostas all seem to be okay back there. They're small, but they're okay. I have a lot of cleanup still left to do. There were sticks everywhere. I did have to cut back. So if you remember these are the two Prelude Nepidas. And when the smoke was happening, I didn't come out and water them at all. So the bottom leaves all turned yellow and looked terrible. So what I did was I cut them hard, really hard, all the way back to the base. And down all the way down here. I mean, there was no plant. And within weeks, 2 weeks, this is how much growth I've got. And I've even got little buds forming. So these can take a really hard cut and just flush back out. And we'll see how many flowers I get. Check it out. They've had plenty of rain. I don't have to water them. That I know for sure. Let me back up and show you this. This is my husband's favorite plant. This fountain grass. There was the clematis behind it originally, right? The Jillian Blades clematis. It was the white one. And when that fades, this takes over. It's just really pretty. Let's go down to the main flower bed and see what we got going on. I unfortunately had to cut back hard. Well, not hard, by maybe a third. All of the Pritchard's variety Campanula, which is right all through here. All these green leaves, because of the damage that they sustained in the storms, which went on for a couple days. They were really floppy anyway with all the water beating them up, and then they started to go to seed. So I just cut them back by a third, and we'll get new flowers. And they, if I remember correctly, they typically start budding again within weeks. Like, it's pretty quick. You don't get as many like really big flowers. You get more like sporadic ones from this point, but it's still nice. We've got a rogue. I didn't plant any of these this year, so it's from a couple years ago, but it's pretty. It's Cosmo. And we've got Echinacea starting to come up. These are pretty. I just get the purple. The plain purple ones. I don't get any of the really cool, more designer looking ones. Only because, for me, they don't grow. Only the purple seems to work for me. But we've got lots of buds. Buds. And lots of deer damage, because obviously I've not been able to come out here and spray. So they nibble, and when they nibble, this was probably a bud or some leaves, and they broke this off, and then I get a bud next to it. So same thing here. This is where they bit. I'll get a bud here. So it doesn't stop the plant from blooming or doing anything. It just a little unsightly where they nibble at it. We've got some Blazing Star Liatris coming up. These are really cool looking. They bloom from the top and go down, which is different from a lot of these spiky flowers. A lot of times they go from the bottom and up. These are different. Very pretty. This is a blazing star, if I didn't say that. Blazing star liatris. And let's see what else is new. I'll get real close to this one. I have some... I wanted to try out Rocket Larkspur because I think the flowers are pretty, and also because I know the deer won't eat them. I understand them to be poisonous, so the deer won't touch them. And they're coming up. I seeded these in the house in, sorry. Lots of buds on them. That was kind of a winter chore for me to do because the, sorry, I'm just going to go through the grass because it gives me something to do when it's snowing. Let's see. Now, the deer did get to these pretty bad. So this, if you remember, this is where the poppies were. I cut back all the poppies. And these things will eventually seed and kind of fill in, I'm hoping. These got pretty damaged. These are the Autumn Joy Sedum. They'll be fine, and they'll actually still flower. It's just they look really tattered. I don't know if you could see that, but this is like where they broke them all off and really nibbled at the leaves. No lasting damage, but again, if you get close to them, you can see it. If you back up, it's just kind of, you don't really see it. We've got some of the Coreopsis starting to bloom here. This will be all yellow very soon. I did cut back the cat's pajamas here, so I cut off all the spent blooms. And then I'll eventually get more flowers there. But right now it's more about the Coreopsis. It's going to be a great show. When the sun hits them, they're really pretty. We have a Rosy Jane Gaura right here. I'll get closer so you can see the flower. These do get bigger. And they're really pretty, and I like them because when the wind blows, they kind of wave around. I think they're also called wind flowers or wand flowers. But they're really pretty, and I usually stick them in this spot, but I know they can be perennials. For me, they never are, but I think it's because I'm doing something wrong. So this year I'm going to try and cover them. I'm going to cut them back harder, and I'm going to try and cover them with leaves just to see if I can get them to overwinter. But up till now, I've never had success with them as a perennial, so I get them as annuals. And these right here, I told you they'd be pretty. These are the geraniums. These are Roseanne geraniums. And they just kind of fill in this spot. And they're really pretty. I love these flowers. They never give me any trouble. When they're done flowering, I cut them back hard and they reflush. They're just really pretty, and the color is just, you want to get close. I don't know if you could see it, but we'll try. And I love how they kind of just start climbing a little bit up into the catmint. So what it's climbing into there is catmint that's going to have white. It almost looks kind of like baby's breath. So it's going to be really pretty. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 plants here covering up all this space. They just kind of crawl around. And we've got a whole bunch here of the Supertunia Bubblegum Vista. These are still doing really well. Really pretty, and they just kind of fill in a nice space for me until I figure out what I want to do here. These got pretty tattered. These don't like this much water. So they're looking a little haggard, but they'll bounce back. They'll be fine. Another Gaura. It's got buds on it, so when it opens up, we'll refilm that. Got some more of the geranium roseannes. And then these are the Rosy Posy Agastache. And I just love the color of them. They're so pretty. With the purple, I mean, it's so pretty. We've got some yellow coming up. So let me kind of go in the back a little bit more and show you what else do I have blooming. We got nothing this year. We got one flower on the peony, and that's because the buds, because of the weather, just wilted brown and died. It was never going to open, so I just cut them all off. It's going to, not be a show this year. I had great buds, too. Like, the buds were really big and ready to go, but unfortunately, the weather just took a toll. These are very pretty grasses. Let me back up and get it. These are Hamlin, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Hamlin grasses. Little larkspur coming up. Why I put this one off by itself like this, I don't know, but that's okay. I'm hoping that these will drop seed all over the place and just kind of come up on their own every year, like the cosmos kind of do. It's very pretty. So this right here isn't going to look like very much, and we're not going to get any more buds. But I do have something to take its place. Down here, let me get out of the sun. This here is a vine that I put here. I grew this from a seed. There's two of them here. Just have a backup in case this one doesn't work. And this is the purple hyacinth bean. So the plan is for this thing, ooh, it held on, very nice, to kind of climb this and take over and give us some nice purple beans, not for eating, but for looking at, on this structure. Now some of the yarrows coming out. The deer never touch this. I never have to spray these. Look how pretty that is. Just so pretty. Another really great plant. Never gives me any trouble. When the flower spike dies, I just cut it back to the base and I'll get more. Oh, one of my foxgloves is blooming. I did not know that. Look at that. Look at that. And the deer won't eat that either because it's poisonous. So if you have kids or dogs, you might want to rethink these, but they are so pretty to look at and they seed everywhere when they're done. So hoping for some free plants. This is Agastache as well. This is Blue Fortune. I'm trying to back up so it looks, so you can get the whole thing, but it's big. It's only two plants right next to each other, and it's really large. The bees love it. The bees, and when the butterflies do come, which we usually get a lot of, they just love this. So pretty. And the smell, it really, I love the smell. I know the deer don't like the smell, but I do. Let's see what else is happening. I'm just going to kind of pan around. This is the empty space that I have to fill in still. We go off into the shade area here, which I'm constantly debating what I want to do here. So I'm better off not doing anything. Oh no, the deer got to my Cimicifuga. Oh, those critters, I'm telling you. And then, looks like they got this too. This is a Baptisia. I think it's called Blueberries Jubilee. Might be something I have to move because they keep getting this one. We'll see what happens with that. Plenty of buds on the Rose of Sharon. That's blue flowers. And this I cut back recently. This is also another one of the campanulas. Plenty of campanula. And let's see. What else? Random echinaceas there. There's lots of buds on those echinaceas. That one's just early. I'll get closer so you can see it. They're pretty. Butterflies love them. And this here is milkweed, which is humongous. Oh, it's got buds on it. I did not know that. See that? That's more for the butterflies, and we've got buds on the butterfly bush. So we've got stuff coming. these are new this year, so I don't know if we're going to get to see anything, but these are pretty aggressive plants, and I put 7 in, so I'm not sure if I'll eventually, let me try and get it without the shadow, how much I'll be regretting this or how much I'll be moving them around. But these are Japanese anemones. I think, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, but it's Robitusima. It's a pink petaled flower with a yellow center. Very pretty, but I know people have mixed emotions on these guys, but every time I see them somewhere, I say I have to have it. I love them so much. So if I'm fighting them forever, maybe I'll pay for that decision. We'll see. I know that they can get pretty aggressive. I have them in a couple different areas in the garden. I'm just hoping that, like, there are areas where I actually do want them to take over. So this is one of them. There's just nothing here yet. So, and I think I'm probably going to stop there for today. And, you know, I'll come back out as soon as we have some more things blooming, and I'll document those too. Hope you have a great day.